Well, good morning, everybody. It's another beautiful day in the core. Good to see everyone in the comments already mixing it up. The Packers will be back on the practice field later today. We'll hear from Matt LaFleur, Aaron Rodgers, and a bevy of other notables. And of course, tonight, the return at 5 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Lambeau. Packer Transplants is coming back. That's right, tonight, 5 p.m. Eastern. Be there or be square. Corey from Green Bay, myself from our studio in New York. It's going to be a lot of fun. I hope everyone can stop by. And then afterwards, if you're a Patreon member, we'll be having a happy hour post-transplants. So it'll be a lot of fun. That'll be via Zoom. The Zoom information is already up on the Patreon page. So I hope you can join us. Good morning, everybody. Julia, hello. Brian, Carrie the G, what's up? Joey the Jaguar, how are you, buddy? Mary Beth, good morning. Go Pack, go. Joey's got his transplants tailgate ready. Joey, you talk a big game about these transplants tailgates, but Corey and I have yet to see any manifestation of evidence here in regards to said tailgate. That's all I'm going to say. By the way, the neighbors are off the fucking chain today with construction, noise, everything's going. I mean, it's off the hook. So you're going to hear it banging. You're going to hear yelling. I apologize in advance. This is New York City. These fuckers have been up since like 8 o'clock with this shit. So sorry for all that. Morning, old timer. How are you? Good to see you. Oh, Nathan, here's the first super chat I can miss. I love it. Can't watch live tonight. Please tell Corey it's euchre season. Oh, Nathan. Corey gets going all on his own. I don't need to give him fuel. But I'm sorry you can't make it live. I hope you catch it on the replay. Matt LaFleur revenge season. More weapons. Need more weapons. Jack. I don't know what you're talking about, man. They got plenty of weapons. Afternoon, Nagler from the UK. Lenny, good morning from New York City. Hope you're doing well. Jeff Smith. What's up? How you doing? Good morning from Colorado. What's up, Colorado? How are you? Josh, thanks for the super chat. Why has no one talked about the Saints not having any depth beyond Thomas? Seems that they have softer wide receiver core than Green Bay. Oh, because they have a veteran signing in Emmanuel Sanders, who, point blank, the Packers also tried to sign, but he chose New Orleans. So, you sign a veteran free agent and all your troubles wash away and the national media doesn't care about it. It's hilarious. Although watching Emmanuel Sanders drop passes in that Monday night game was beautiful, because I was told only MVS did that. Only the Packers' young wide receivers drop passes, not seasoned vets like Emmanuel Sanders. Certainly not. Surely you jest. Amazing how that works. Just how good is this Saints defense? That's a really good question, Andrew. I think they're incredibly talented. I think the Raiders pointed out a few flaws in the design, so to speak. Straight up, the biggest kind of thing I got to expect Matt LaFleur and Aaron Rodgers are kind of looking their chops at is Malcolm Jenkins. It's pretty clear the Raiders went after him, and I expect the Packers will do the same. It's all about how much they can hold up front, and I think the offensive line obviously has done a good job thus far. It's not like they've faced a murderer's row of pass rushers, though. The Saints can come at you. The Saints can bring it. So if Rick Wagner and Bakhtiari hold up, I think, Aaron Rodgers is going to cook. I think, obviously, they got talent outside. There's no doubt that if Devontae can play, they will look to try and take him away, probably match him up with Lattimore. But I just think Aaron, without crowd noise, he's going to cook. I can't wait to watch it. Sean, hey, Aaron, I've made every show since last week. That officially makes me a regular, right? Sure. Why not? How well do you think Spoff, Hod, and do you read Insider Inbox? I know Wes pretty damn well at this point. Consider him a friend. I don't know Mike very well, but I've always had a lovely time chatting with him when I run into him in Green Bay, and either at stadiums when the Packers are on the road or in the media auditorium when we're waiting for press conferences. We always end up talking about Wisconsin sports in one way or another. Although one of my favorite conversations with Spoff ever was about Van Halen, when we both discovered we were fans and we went down a Van Halen rabbit hole. I don't know Mike that well, but I really appreciate and respect his work. As far as Insider Inbox, I never read it. I mean, just like I know Wes doesn't attend my chats, I'm not reading his insider inbox. If I want to know what Wes thinks of something, I'll shoot him a DM or send him a text. That doesn't mean I don't, like I said, appreciate and respect what he does, but only so many hours in the day. Why wasn't the Lions player ejected for that complete cheap shot on Lancaster? It could have ended his season. David, I have no idea, and I could not agree more. I actually asked Matt LaFleur about it in regards to what he thought about that hit, and he said, it was completely unacceptable. Interested to see on Friday is usually when we get news about who's been fined. I hope there's a fine, a FedEx waiting for the Lions on Friday. Andy, thanks for the super chat. Nags, a lot of extensions left to negotiate. How do the negative impact of COVID and anticipated increased revenue impact the anticipated? I think you mean decreased revenue impact the upcoming offseason. I mean, they certainly impact it. There's no doubt about it. There's a nice quote going around from David Bakhtiari this morning from the radio appearance he had yesterday, basically saying if the Packers want to do it, they can, and talking about restructuring people. And, the cap is a myth, essentially. Yeah, look, there's so much to go through as far as guys that need to get re-signed. I'm sure Corey and I will talk about it extensively tonight on Transplants because, of course, Corey wants everybody re-signed. It's just not the reality, especially the way the Packers have traditionally operated. What Bakhtiari is talking about in that quote is restructuring contracts, and that tends to mean kicking the can down the road when it comes to paying the piper, so to speak. And the Packers have been traditionally loath to do that. They've made one or two exceptions, usually around Aaron Rodgers, but for the most part, that's how they've operated. And to go about, like David said, like the Chiefs did, to restructure a bunch of people to open things up, that would be a major departure for how the Packers have operated, essentially since Andrew Brandt was still in the building. So it's been a long, long time that they've operated the way they have. I don't suddenly expect them to break from that tradition. However, if there's a player you need to make an exception for, I would say it's probably David Bakhtiari. It's hard enough to find a left tackle in the NFL, let alone a good left tackle, let alone a 3-time All-Pro left tackle. Bakhtiari is somebody you make an exception for. That's where I come down on that. Bryson, thanks for the super chat. RIP Gale Sayers, legend. Bryson, yeah, I put it up this morning on Twitter. Absolutely one of the greatest players to ever grace a gridiron. The thing about the Bears, we talk about it all the time. Yes, the Bears still suck. However, there's nothing but respect there as far as the history, the rivalry, and Sayers was a monster part of that. Incredibly fun to watch, almost poetry in motion on the field. RIP to a true legend, no doubt about it. Garrett, thanks for the super chat. If Thomas doesn't go and Adams is held out, I still think we match up better. We have the number one run game, best O-line, and arguably the best QB. Thoughts? I mean, I don't know where it comes down as far as rankings, but I will say, yeah, I do think the Packers match up pretty well. I am a bit concerned about the offensive line. Now, they have to run the ball. There is zero question there. Will they be able to? That remains to be seen. I'm not worried about the offense, really, overall. Like I just said, I think in a pretty much neutral environment, Aaron having everything open to him when it comes to the line of scrimmage, the tackles not having to worry about noise, being able to go on the actual count rather than silent count and having to look in. I think the offense is going to cook. I'm not worried about the offense, really. Now, they have to be efficient. They have to stay ahead of the sticks, play ball control, keep the ball out of Drew Brees and the Saints offense's hands. Because, look, man, I'm telling you, that defensive front for the Packers, I don't know, man. They just, the less they're on the field, the better. Because we've seen one thing time and time again from Sean Payton when the Packers have gone down in New Orleans. He runs the ball and runs the ball. He runs power. He runs angle. He runs power. And then he runs play action. And he sucks those linebackers up because the Packers can't stop things with just 4 guys. So they have to commit bodies. And when they do, play action almost always open. It's been, I mean, I'll never forget Tom Crabtree after he signed with the Saints. And, he was actually on the Saints squad for one of those games where the Packers went down. I think he was injured, so he didn't play in it. And sure enough, after the game, he said, yeah, all we talked about all week was running the football. And I think that's what the Saints are going to do. I think everyone expects the Drew Brees show, but I'm not worried about Drew Brees. I'm worried about Kamara and the running game, and not just like window dressing stuff where they try and like sleight of hand you to get Kamara in space. I'm talking about running between the tackles. I think the Packers are in a world of hurt there. So I think the Packers should win this game if they can get a lead and play ball control, but that's really easy to say and a lot tougher to do. Those are my early thoughts on Sunday's matchup. Nick D, yeah, you're on that train. Restructuring contracts hurts future caps. We all have seen it hamstring teams' cap situations. I imagine in a couple years, though, the cap will take a massive hike with the new TV contracts. Well, there's very, very much a lot of truth to everything there. Obviously, this is why you've seen the structures you have. You look at Kenny Clark's deal, the way the first 2 years, the cap hit is very minimal, and then it really jumps in a couple years. That is obviously in anticipation of not only, and kind of working around the fact that, yes, next year, you got to expect the cap to shrink. And then, yes, the cap will most likely explode. And those are the things that Russ Ball has to navigate. I just love that, the report from Bloomberg came out, I think 2 days ago or maybe yesterday, that Fox is ready to spend close to $2 billion, up to $2 billion, $2 billion with a B.
That's $2 billion for those playing at home. $2 billion.
To retain NFL football on their network. So, yeah, I think the cap is going to be quite healthy in a couple years. William, thanks for the super chat. Can you tell Matt LaFleur it is time to sign B.J. Raji? Thanks. I'll do what I can. Oh, my God, I love it. What else we got here? I think I missed a super chat. Hold on. I got to start having some kind of Luis, thanks for the super chat. Good morning, Nags. I hope Savage steps up and somebody can guard Jared Cook. Other than that, cheers for a great game. Jared Cook could be a problem, man. I ain't going to lie. And Savage definitely needs to step up. Couldn't agree more. He's had a pedestrian start to the season. Did that one. I think I got them all now. Is that all of them? Oh, my gosh. Aaron, my super chats. No. Oh, Dustin, thanks for the super chat. Did anyone ever ask A.J. Hawk how he felt when it seemed like Ted restructured his contract and took money from him several years in a row? Not directly. I'd love to ask him, but he blocks me on Twitter. So no love there for the Nagler. Got that one. Wait, what? Unicorn, missed my super chat. My dude, here's more money. Unicorn, I didn't see one from you, buddy. I literally just went through everything. You guys are just playing with me. Now you're just toying with my emotions. And you're just like, let's give Aaron super chats about missing super chats that don't even exist. Not here, dude. It's not. I swear to God. I just went through the list 3 times. And that's the one telling me I missed stuff is the only one I can see. Sorry, buddy. Any free agent we could sign to bolster the run defense? I mean, sure. But I tend to think the help they're going to get is probably on the practice squad. We'll see how they go about trying to bolster. If they were going to make a move, I would have suspected they would have done it on Tuesday. Tuesday came and went. We didn't really see any moves, so we'll see. Mo Wilkerson. Last I checked, Mo Wilkerson was having trouble with the law. So, yeah, I don't think he's coming back anytime soon. Let's see what we got here. What are people saying here? Unicorn says, how do you think one open spot on the 53 with Lovett likely up for good now? Who do you think gets the other spot? Wynn, Willington? How about Wagner playing great so far? Yeah, he has been playing, I wouldn't say great, but he's been effective and more than solid. As far as the open spot in the 53, I think they're going to leave it open. But we'll see. I mean, you never really know. But I think he likes the flexibility that spot gives him in case something happens as far as people coming free, what have you. Also, we've seen that they like to shuttle guys up and down between that and the practice squad. We'll see how that goes around. Towel, thanks for the super chat. Very nice of you. Alex, thank you for the super chat. Love Aaron's talk about how his new look on life and football on Pat's show. You can see it on the field too. Yeah, I mean, we saw it right away in training camp. There's no doubt about it. He's got a different demeanor and a different kind of outlook, I guess, and feel about him and the vibe. And hell, he started talking to me on Twitter this offseason. That tells you all you need to know about how he's opening up. I mean, that man ignored me for a decade and finally started interacting. So he's clearly opened his heart. Brandy, Gary played about 50% of the snaps last week with 1.5 sacks and 2 QB hits. I think he is coming along. Yeah, I would tend to agree. I think if you watch down in and down out when he is out there, you see nothing but just the utmost hustle. And there's no doubt that he is only getting better. That's what's scary. Is that he's pretty damn effective at the moment, and he's just beginning to scratch his potential. He's going to be a damn good player. Hello from Austria. What's up, Walter? How are you, buddy? Happy to catch you live just to ensure there is no game in the UK this year, correct? Thanks for everything you do. Yes, Walter, that's correct. They canceled all the international games once the pandemic started shutting things down. So they have no international competition this year. That will return next year, though, with a vengeance. Trust me. He's eating cheese again. Maybe that's it, Julia. That's right, because he went like he's lactose intolerant, so he cut out dairy, right? So that must be it. Nicholas, thanks for the super chat. Do you think lighter pads of this modern NFL is a major cause for higher injury rate? Wouldn't it be worth the return to retro gear? No, I don't. For either of those questions, my answer is no. Guys like to be as speedy as possible. They want as little restriction as possible, but I don't think it's a question of putting on more gear. These guys are bigger, stronger, faster, and the injuries come at a higher rate because of it. And I don't think any amount of padding is going to change people blowing out their ACLs. Unicorn, thanks for the super chat. Thanks, Gustavo, for getting Nags my lost chat. Yeah, that was weird, man. I'm so sorry. But I am glad Gustavo came to the rescue. Do I think we see DeGuara this week? Rye asked me again on Friday. We get our first injury report today. Later in the day, the fact that he trended the exact wrong way last week is always concerning as far as starting the week on a limited basis and then going to did not participate. You hate to see that because it makes you think maybe he had some kind of reaction or responded poorly to something in practice, health-wise. So we'll see. I mean, like I said, they'll be on the practice field a little bit later today, and we'll get our first indication of what his participation looks like. I hope so, because I really like him. Brian, thanks for the super chat. My favorite Rodgers memory in New Orleans is a hit on a pick he threw. Hope my memory bank is changed this weekend with something on offense. I mean, they've had a number of memorable plays that went the wrong way. Whether it is that, that is probably his greatest hit in his entire career. He threw to the left, and it looks like it's going to be a pick six, and he comes flying in and just absolutely levels the dude. he leaves his feet. It's like a NFL blitz hit. That is one of the best quarterback hits I've ever seen. But then, of course, the other thing, the other memory that is seared into my brain from down in New Orleans is that attempt to throw Julius Peppers a slant. Great idea. Wonderful. We got all these talented dudes. Let's throw it to Julius Peppers. And that's not to take anything away from Peppers, because I think, of course, he's insanely talented. He's an incredible athlete. But you could tell, this is something they did in practice at a certain speed. And then when the game happened, Rodgers really fired in that slant, and Peppers was not ready for the heat. So, because he's not a wide receiver or a running back or somebody who ever handles the football in any meaningful way. Those are my New Orleans memories. And I'm with you. I would very much like to recalibrate them. Weston, thank you for the super chat. How did you like Rodgers' new perspective on life? It's lovely that he shares it with us. Ultimately, it's none of my business. So however he wants to go about his life and his worldview and whatever is informing him, yeah, I love it. I love it, especially if he's happy, because I want him to be happy, because I want my quarterback to be happy. But ultimately, man, I got enough problems in my own life dealing with my kids and my world and my day-to-day that, however, Aaron Rodgers is fantastic, man. Love it. More power to him. Unicorn, thanks for the super chat. Now you get a beer on me, Nags. Cheers, brother. Thank you. Thanks so much, Unicorn. Very nice of you. Are we in for an Adams-Thomasless ball game on Sunday? Cole, I would guess yes, but it's still very early in the week. I know Pelissero put out the report yesterday that Adams' hammy is considered a minor injury. However, still questionable for his participation on Sunday. I haven't heard any kind of updates on Thomas, but when the injury first happened in week 1, I know the initial report said he'd be out a couple weeks. So I tend to think there's a good chance, yes, we'll be without Thomas and Adams, which, hey, if the Packers have shown anything with this crew, with LaFleur, Rodgers, what have you, it's that they know how to design a game plan without Davante Adams. They did it 4 times in a row last year to pretty damn good success. So I want Davante out there, but not at the expense of the long term. You know, they need him down the stretch. They need him to be healthy. And Lord knows, hammies, especially a wide receiver, they can tend to linger, and you do not want to re-aggravate it. Pettin's got to go stop going vanilla on D when the Packers take the lead. Yeah, John, I mean, I think there's something to that, but I do think the guys need to just play better. At some point, the guys need to execute. And it's one thing to say, okay, he's vanilla, but vanilla should get it done in certain situations where guys are just giving up plays they shouldn't. I mean, it's always a fine line, but I agree. I would love him to keep the foot on the gas, so to speak, but that would entail him having his foot on the gas to begin with, which is I don't think he does. So, yeah, it's a balancing act, but I hear you. Juan, thank you for the super chat. Thank you, Cheesehead TV, for all the coverage. Go Pack Go. Thank you. Thanks for the support. Speaking of support, I'm going to have to get going, but please hit like on this video, subscribe to the channel. If you're so inclined, please consider giving us $5 a month on our Patreon page, patreon.com/CheeseheadTV. And hey, tonight, Packer Transplants, 5 p.m. Eastern, 4 o'clock Lambeau time. We will be live. Myself from the studio here in New York, Corey from Green Bay, Wisconsin. It's going to be a lot of fun. Hit us up on our social channels. And after that, Patreon happy hour. Not too late to sign up for Patreon. Join us on the Cheesehead TV Patreon Zoom happy hour. It's a lot of fun. Pretty relaxed, no holds barred conversation each and every week. It's a good time. But hey, if you can't join Patreon, totally understand. Just please hit like, hit subscribe, tell your friends, tell your family. Cheesehead TV. We are devoted to Green Bay Packers fans worldwide. Thanks a lot, everybody. Have a great day.